whether you want to do 3 to 4 meals a day, especially during fat loss, or whether you want to do 1 meal a day, like the best meal timing and meal frequency is going to come from what you can stick to best, what suits your lifestyle. There was a long period of time there, especially when I'm in a deficit, I will go skip breakfast, right? Do the 16 and 8 intermittent fasting where you eat from 12 to 8 roughly. That's it. And that works really well for me because then I don't have to think about food until lunchtime. I'm not worried about it. I'm not trying to get up and get something. I'm just like, cool, all right, I don't need till lunch. And then I can figure out what I want at like 10:30, 11 o'clock, and then I can eat it then. And it just mentally it works well for me. So I like it. The thing I've been recommending to a lot of clients is because I've had a lot of guys who they'll get home from work. Usually it's like a physically active job. They might get home, especially if it's a trade, like 3 or 4 in the afternoon, and they'll just fucking snack. And it's, I mean, they don't think it's a binge, but it's basically a binge. It's a snack binge where you're just walking up and down. Oh, I'm a bit hungry, but dinner's going to be in like 3 hours. So it's like, I don't really want to have like a full meal. So I'm just going to walk around. As Trav said, have a fucking little mini packet of Doritos, ones we put in the kids' lunch boxes every now and then, or get some ice cream, just grab a tub and have a couple of spoonfuls and then it's gone. That is where meal timing is really important from a knowing yourself perspective.
Yes.
And knowing that if I am hungry, I was chatting to a client even today about this. It's come up a couple of times the last couple of days, is you've got to know that when you are hungry, if you will be the kind of person who would lean towards a binge or would lean towards just, I don't want to escape that hungry feeling. And that's what, guys I was speaking to today, just before the call, was like, I really, really want to, I've tried intermittent fasting and I did it. And then I got really hungry. I ended up binging because I had such a small, because I had nothing and I just binged at lunch. I was like, yeah, that's exactly what fucking happens. Some people it works. For some people, they get so hungry. They want to, we've talked about like toward motivation and away from motivation before. They're away from motivated. They want to get away from the feeling of hunger. So they'll do anything it takes to not feel hungry. And so as a result, they'll just eat whatever, the first thing that's inside. They won't take the time and go, I wish to feel full and I want to feel full of good, nourishing food. So I'm going to make myself something that will fill that void. They're like, oh, fuck, feel hungry, eat food. Like that's the mental thing that goes on. So if you find yourself in a position where you are binging from time to time, or you get hungry and then you end up eating way too much, consider, do I need to involve a bigger meal? Do I need to change the meal timings or the meal frequency of when and what I'm eating in order to prevent that? That's what I've found.
Mate, I completely agree. I think a lot of people, that afternoon snack, if their lunch is too small, it is such a crucial part, right? Because, if you're having lunch and it's like 400 or 500 calories and you have a physical job or not a physical job, I don't really care. And your dinner's not to maybe 6:30 or 7, maybe go and eat after the kids go to sleep and it's at 7:30. Now, if you're not eating and you're at home, so you're not busy, not at work, but you're at home because you've knocked off, you're at home, you do go past and you look in the fridge like 5 or 6 times. Like it's just boredom-based eating. It's like, I'm hungry, but you're not really hungry. You're hungry because mentally you have nothing to do, right? And
you look at the fridge, then you lower your standards again, then you look again, then you lower your standards,
and
then you eat some raw spaghetti.
Exactly, right? So it's like, and it adds up. Right. So it's like a packet of crisps and then you do grab a tub of yogurt and you're like, I'm trying to stay. And then your kids are eating their dinner. Oh, I'll just finish their dinner. And like it's added up to like 700, 800, 900 calories really fast without realizing it. Or you try and push past it until you get to like super hungry. And then you hit this, like you black out. It's like you're drunk. You've blacked out. You can't remember everything. You woke up and it's like, you just had a block of chocolate. Yeah, exactly. And you're like,
the dog's licking you. You don't know why.
Yeah, exactly. So I think in saying that, you can go, well, I might try something next week and see if it works. I'm going to try and make this Sunday a 450 calorie pasta bake for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday afternoons. And you sit down when you get home and you literally have a pasta bake for at like 5 o'clock at night. You're like, oh, I'm only eating at like 6:30, but you have that at 5 o'clock. Your dinner might be only having to be 600 calories because of that. And you've had like a 600 calorie lunch. You've had a 400, 500 calorie snack in the afternoon. And then a couple hours later, you had like a 500-600 calorie meal as well. You're still hitting your calories if you're doing that intermittent fasting approach, and you've done it fantastically. Or you could shave 100 calories off your dinner and 100 calories off your lunch. And if you are, you got a 200-300 calorie breakfast, you got a 400 calorie lunch, you get a 400 calorie like snack, but we were not even calling it snack. It's a meal. Right, in the afternoon when you get home, and then you have another meal before you go to sleep, and again you're still hitting your calorie deficit, and you're not hungry anymore. So I think the problem is like everyone thinks that there is a single solution, like, but there's not a single solution. There's your solution. I think that's the biggest thing. Like, you can't follow someone on TikTok who doesn't have the same lifestyle as you and follow their eat what I eat in a day shit, right? It just doesn't work like that. So I think you have to create your own what I eat in a day that works for you. And I think that's the missing link. There is no one size fits all for meal timing. There's what's most optimal for muscle gain. But at the end of the day, if you're listening to this podcast, yeah, you want to put a little bit of muscle mass, you want to drop some fat, you want to get really healthy, but you aren't focusing on 2.8 grams of leucine every 4 hours to make sure that your protein synthesis is on point.
Speak
right?
for yourself, bro.
So
it doesn't matter that much.